What happens when one of Hollywood's most beloved actors walks onto a daytime talk show stage expecting a friendly conversation, but instead gets blindsided by accusations, personal attacks, and disrespect that spirals completely out of control? In just 45 seconds, a simple question about his latest project turned into an all-out war that ended with security escorting a major star off the set, while cameras kept rolling and the audience sat in stunned silence. Jamie Foxx arrived at the View studio that morning with his signature smile and energy. He had been on the show before, always bringing laughs and good vibes to the panel. The audience cheered as he walked out, waving and hugging each of the hosts. Whoopi Goldberg welcomed him warmly. Joy Behar cracked a joke about his suit, and Sarah Haynes commented on how great he looked. Everything seemed normal. Everything seemed fine. But Sunny Hostin had other plans. The interview started smoothly enough. Jamie talked about his new movie, shared some behind-the-scenes stories, and had the audience laughing within minutes. Whoopi asked him about his daughters, and he lit up talking about them. Joy asked about his music career and whether he might drop another album soon. The energy was light and fun. But then Sunny leaned forward in her seat with a look that immediately changed the temperature in the room. "So Jamie," Sunny said, her voice sharp and loaded with something that did not sound like curiosity, "I want to talk about something serious. There have been some conversations online about you and certain choices you have made in your career." Jamie's smile faded slightly, but he stayed professional. "Okay, what conversations are we talking about?" "Well," Sunny continued, shuffling some papers in front of her, like she had prepared a whole case. "Some people have pointed out that you have played certain roles that maybe you should not have played. Roles that some would say are problematic." The other hosts exchanged glances. Whoopi shifted in her seat. Joy looked confused. Sarah seemed uncomfortable. But Sunny was locked in, staring Jamie down like a prosecutor. "Problematic how?" Jamie asked, his tone still respectful, but you could hear the edge creeping in. "Roles where you are portraying characters that reinforce negative stereotypes," Sunny said, her voice getting louder. "Roles where you are essentially playing into what certain people want to see from black actors instead of demanding better material." The audience went quiet. This was not the fun celebrity interview they came to see. Jamie took a breath and sat up straighter. "Sunny, with all due respect, I have been acting for over 30 years. I have played everything from Ray Charles to a slave in Django to a regular guy just trying to make it. I choose roles based on the story, the character, and the challenge, not based on what someone on the internet thinks I should or should not do." "But do you not think you have a responsibility?" Sunny fired back, not giving him a second to breathe. "You are a major star. You have influence. Young black kids look up to you. And when you take certain roles, you are sending a message about what is acceptable." Whoopi tried to jump in. "Sunny, I think we should—" "No, Whoopi, let me finish," Sunny said, holding up her hand to cut off her own co-host. "Jamie, I am just saying that maybe you need to think more carefully about the image you are projecting." Jamie's jaw clenched. You could see him trying to stay calm. "The image I am projecting?" "Sunny, I have won an Academy Award. I have done comedy, drama, action, everything. I have portrayed real people with dignity and respect. I have created opportunities for other actors. What exactly is the image you think I am projecting?" "An image of someone who will do anything for a paycheck," Sunny said coldly. The gasp from the audience was instant. Joy's mouth dropped open. Sarah put her hand over her face. Whoopi said, "Oh no," under her breath. But Sunny just sat there, arms crossed, like she had just made the most brilliant point ever made on television. Jamie stared at her for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was low and controlled. "Excuse me?" "You heard me," Sunny said, leaning back in her chair with this smug expression. "I think you make choices based on money, not on integrity, and I think that is something worth discussing." "Worth discussing," Jamie repeated, and you could hear his voice starting to rise. You invite me on your show. You sit me down in front of millions of people, and you accuse me of having no integrity? Who do you think you are? I am someone who is not afraid to ask the tough questions, Sonny shot back. Maybe you are just not used to being challenged. Challenged? Jamie said, standing up now. This is not a challenge. This is disrespect. This is you trying to make yourself look important by tearing down someone who has actually done the work. Whoopi stood up too, trying to play peacemaker. Okay, let's all just take a breath here. No, Whoopi, Jamie said, his voice firm but not yelling. I am not taking a breath. I came here in good faith. I came here to talk about my work and have a good time. And this woman just called me a sellout on national television. I did not use that word, Sonny said, but her tone was defensive now. You did not have to, Jamie said. You said I will do anything for a paycheck. You said I have no integrity. What else would you call that? Joy tried to step in. Jamie, I do not think Sonny meant it that way. Then how did she mean it, Joy? Jamie asked, turning to her. Because from where I am standing, she meant it exactly that way. She has been sitting there with that look on her face since I walked out here, like she was waiting to go after me. Sonny stood up now too, and the tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Maybe I am tired of watching celebrities come on this show and get softballs thrown at them. Maybe I am tired of nobody asking the real questions. Maybe I am tired of people like you getting a pass just because you are charming, and people like you. People like me? Jamie said, his voice rising. What is that supposed to mean? It means exactly what I said, Sonny replied. You have been skating by on your charm and your smile for years, and nobody ever holds you accountable. Accountable for what? Jamie demanded. For having a successful career? For working my way up from nothing? For providing for my family? What exactly do I need to be held accountable for? Anna Navarro, who had been quiet this whole time, finally spoke up. Sonny, I think maybe you are taking this too far. Stay out of this, Anna, Sonny snapped. No, I will not stay out of this, Anna said, standing up. Jamie is our guest. We invited him here, and you are attacking him for no reason. I am not attacking him, Sonny insisted. I am asking legitimate questions. Those were not questions, Jamie said, his voice shaking with anger now. Those were accusations. You came at me from the moment you opened your mouth. You did not want to have a conversation. You wanted to ambush me. Sarah spoke up, her voice small but clear. I have to agree with Jamie. This does not feel like a normal interview. Sonny whipped around to face Sarah. Oh, so now everyone is ganging up on me? Nobody is ganging up on you, Whoopi said, her voice tired. But you did come at him pretty hard, Sonny. Because somebody has to, Sonny said, her voice getting shrill now. Somebody has to ask these questions. Somebody has to hold people accountable. You keep saying that word, Jamie said, pointing at her. Accountable. But you have not said what I did wrong. You have not given me a single specific example of anything I should be accountable for. You just threw out vague accusations and insults, and now you are acting like you are some kind of hero for it. I do not have to list your entire filmography, Sonny said. Anyone with eyes can see the choices you have made. Then say it, Jamie challenged her. Say specifically what you have a problem with. Give me one example. Just one. Sonny hesitated, and in that moment, you could see she did not have one ready. She had thrown out accusations without backing them up. I am not going to sit here and educate you on your own career. That is what I thought, Jamie said, shaking his head. You do not have anything. You just wanted to come at me. You just wanted your moment. My moment? Sonny said, her voice sharp. You think this is about me wanting a moment? What else would it be about? Jamie asked. Because it is clearly not about anything I actually did. You have been sitting there making assumptions and judgments about me, about my career, about my character, and you do not even know me. I know enough, Sunny said coldly. You do not know anything, Jamie shot back. You do not know what I have been through. You do not know the doors I have had to kick down. You do not know the times I have been told no. You do not know the sacrifices I have made. You sit up here in your comfortable chair and you judge people, but you do not know what it takes to actually do what I do. Oh, please, Sunny said with a dismissive wave. Do not act like you are some kind of victim. I am not playing victim, Jamie said, his voice strong. I am standing up for myself. I am not going to sit here and let you disrespect me. Whoopi tried again. Okay, I think we need to go to commercial. No, Jamie said. I am done. I am not staying here. Jamie, please, Sarah said softly. I am sorry, Sarah, Jamie said, his tone gentler with her. I am sorry to you, Whoopi Joy. Anna, you all have been nothing but kind to me. But I cannot sit here and be disrespected like this. He started to unhook his microphone. The audience was dead silent, watching this all unfold in real time. Sunny was not done, though. So you are just going to run away? Jamie stopped and turned to her. Run away? Lady, I am walking away from someone who does not deserve my time or my respect. That is not running. That is called having self-worth. You cannot handle criticism, Sunny said, her voice dripping with contempt. Criticism? Jamie said, and he actually laughed, but there was no humor in it. You think that was criticism? Criticism is constructive. Criticism is specific. Criticism comes from a place of wanting to help someone grow. What you did was not criticism. What you did was a personal attack designed to make yourself look important at my expense. I was doing my job, Sunny insisted. Your job is to interview people, not to tear them down, Jamie said. Your job is to have conversations, not to ambush your guests. Your job is to be a professional, and you failed at that today. Joy stood up. Jamie, I am so sorry this happened. It is not your fault, Joy, Jamie said, pulling the microphone pack off his belt. None of you asked for this except her. He pointed at Sunny, who stood there with her arms still crossed, looking defiant, even though everyone else on the panel was clearly uncomfortable and upset. You know what your problem is? Sunny said, taking a step toward him. You cannot handle a strong woman asking you tough questions. Do not do that, Jamie said, his voice cutting. Do not hide behind being a woman. This has nothing to do with you being a woman, and everything to do with you being rude and unprofessional. I have worked with strong women my entire career. I have nothing but respect for strong women. But you are not strong. You are just mean. The audience made a collective, ooh, sound. That one landed hard. Sunny's face turned red. Get out of here then. Leave. I am already leaving, Jamie said, handing his microphone to a stage manager who had rushed over. I do not need you to tell me to go. Good, Sunny said. We do not need guests who cannot handle real conversation. Real conversation, Jamie repeated, shaking his head. You would not know a real conversation if it hit you in the face. A real conversation involves listening. It involves respect. It involves actually caring about the other person's perspective. You did none of that. You just wanted to attack me. Whoopi put her hand on Jamie's arm. Jamie, I am really sorry. I know you are, Whoopi, Jamie said, and his voice was softer now. And I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you except her, but I cannot stay here. I will not stay here. Anna walked over to him. You are right to leave. You should not have to deal with this. Thank you, Anna, Jamie said. Sunny threw her hands up. Oh, great. Now everyone is on his side. Of course, the big celebrity gets all the sympathy. Sunny, stop, Whoopi said firmly. Just stop. No, I will not stop, Sunny said, her voice getting louder. I am tired of everyone acting like I did something wrong. I asked questions that needed to be asked. You attacked a guest, Joy said, her voice sharp. There is a difference. I did not attack anyone, Sunny protested. Yes, you did, Sarah said, speaking up more forcefully now. Sunny, I have never seen you go after someone like that. It was uncomfortable to watch. Then maybe you all need thicker skin, Sunny said. Jamie was at the edge of the stage now, about to walk off, but he turned back one more time. You know what the saddest part about all of this is? I actually used to respect you. I thought you were smart. I thought you asked good questions. But today, you showed me who you really are. You are someone who tears people down to make yourself feel bigger. And that is just sad. I do not need your respect, Sunny said, but her voice wavered just a little. Good, Jamie said, because you do not have it anymore. He walked off the stage. The audience did not know whether to clap or stay silent. Most of them just sat there, in shock. Sunny stood in the middle of the stage, looking around at her co-hosts, all of whom were staring at her with varying degrees of disappointment and frustration. What? Sunny said defensively. Why is everyone looking at me like that? Because you just chased off one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, Joy said flatly. That is why. He is the one who left, Sunny said. I did not make him leave. Yes, you did, Whoopi said, her voice heavy. Sunny, you absolutely did. I was just asking questions, Sunny repeated, but even she did not sound convinced anymore. Those were not questions, Anna said. Those were attacks, and you know it. The stage manager rushed over to Whoopi and whispered something in her ear. Whoopi closed her eyes and sighed deeply. We need to go to commercial, Whoopi said to the camera. We will be right back. The second the camera light went off, chaos erupted. Producers rushed onto the stage. The other hosts immediately turned on Sunny. What were you thinking? Joy demanded. I was thinking someone needed to hold him accountable, Sunny said, but she was starting to look shaken now. Accountable for what? Sarah asked. You never even said what he did wrong. He knows what he did, Sunny said weakly. No, he does not, Whoopi said, her voice stern. Because you did not tell him. You just threw accusations at him and expected him to accept it. That is not journalism, Sunny. That is just being cruel. I am not cruel, Sunny said, and for the first time, she looked like she might cry. I am just trying to do my job. Your job is not to attack our guests, Joy said. Your job is to interview them, to have conversations, to make them feel welcome. You did the opposite of all of that. A producer came over, looking stressed. Jamie has left the building. His people are furious. They are talking about legal action. Whoopi put her head in her hands. Of course they are. This is not my fault, Sunny said, but her voice was small now. It is absolutely your fault, Anna said. Sunny, you went after him from the start. We all saw it. The audience saw it. America saw it. I was just being honest, Sunny said. There is a difference between being honest and being cruel, Sarah said, and today you crossed that line. The producer spoke up again. We have 3 minutes until we are back on air. What do we want to say? Whoopi looked at the other hosts. We apologize. We say that things got heated, and we apologize to Jamie and to our viewers. I am not apologizing, Sunny said firmly. Everyone turned to look at her. What? Whoopi said. I said I am not apologizing, Sunny repeated. I did nothing wrong. Sunny, you have to apologize, Joy said. You chased off our guest. He chose to leave, Sunny said stubbornly. Because you attacked him, Anna said, her voice rising. How do you not see that? I see that I asked tough questions, and he could not handle it, Sunny said, crossing her arms again. That is what I see. Whoopi shook her head slowly. Sunny, if you do not apologize, this is going to be a much bigger problem. I do not care, Sunny said. I stand by what I said. The producer looked panicked. 90 seconds. Fine, Whoopi said. I will apologize. The rest of you can do what you want. I am apologizing too, Joy said immediately. Me too, Sarah added. Same, Anna said. They all looked at Sunny. She stood there, alone in her defiance, realizing that every single one of her co-hosts was against her on this. 30 seconds, the producer called out. Sunny, last. Chance, Whoopi said. Sunny looked at each of them, her face hard and set. No. Whoopi shook her head and turned to face the camera. The others took their seats. Sunny stood there for a moment, then finally sat down too, but she looked stiff and uncomfortable. The stage manager counted down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The camera light went on. Whoopi took a deep breath and looked directly into the lens. We are back, and I need to address what just happened. Our guest, Jamie Foxx, has left the building after a very heated exchange with one of our hosts. I want to apologize to Jamie and to all of you watching at home. That was not the kind of interview we aimed to have on this show. Joy jumped in. I also want to apologize. Jamie is a friend of this show, and he deserved better than what happened today. Sarah nodded. I am so sorry to Jamie. That should not have happened. Anna spoke up too. My apologies as well. Jamie handled that situation with far more grace than I think many people would have. Everyone looked at Sunny. The camera slowly pushed in on her face. She sat there, stone-faced, saying nothing. The silence stretched out for what felt like forever. Whoopi finally broke it. Sunny, do you have anything you would like to say? Sunny looked at the camera, then at Whoopi, then back at the camera. When she spoke, her voice was quiet but firm. I stand by my questions. You could hear gasps from the audience. Joy's eyes went wide. Sarah looked down at her hands. Anna shook her head. Whoopi just stared at Sunny with an expression that said everything. Okay then, Whoopi said, her voice cold. I think we have said all we need to say about this. Let's move on. But nobody in that studio was moving on. Not the hosts, not the audience, not the viewers at home. What they had just witnessed was something that would be talked about for days, weeks, maybe months to come. A beloved actor had walked onto a stage expecting a friendly conversation, and instead got ambushed by a host who seemed determined to tear him down. And when given multiple chances to make it right, that host chose to double down instead of apologizing. The interview was over, but the fallout was just beginning. Behind the scenes, Jamie Foxx was in his car, calling his team, his family, his friends. He was angry, but also hurt. He had trusted that show. He had been a guest there before, with no problems. But today, something had been different. Today, Sunny Hostin had decided to make him her target, and she had done it in the most public, most humiliating way possible. Back on stage, the show continued, but nobody was paying attention to whatever segment they had moved on to. The energy was wrong. The vibe was off. Sunny sat there, still defiant, but you could see cracks forming in her armor. The other hosts barely looked at her. The audience was restless. The producers in the booth were probably having heart attacks. This was not just a bad interview. This was a disaster. This was the kind of moment that ends careers, that gets people fired, that becomes a cautionary tale in media training classes. And at the center of it all was Sunny Hostin, who had decided that being right was more important than being kind, who had decided that her opinion mattered more than respect, who had decided that attacking a guest on live television was somehow her job. She sat there, arms crossed, jaw set, refusing to back down even as everyone around her distanced themselves from what she had done. The show went to commercial again. The second the camera was off, Whoopi stood up without a word and walked off the stage. Joy followed her, then Sarah, then Anna. Sunny sat there alone at the table, finally realizing what she had done. But it was too late. The damage was done. Jamie Foxx was gone. Her co-hosts were furious. The audience was shocked, and America had just watched her reveal exactly who she was when challenged. Not a tough interviewer. Not a brave journalist asking hard questions. Just someone who thought cruelty was the same thing as courage. And in those 45 seconds when she had accused Jamie of lacking integrity, she had shown everyone that she was the one with the real problem. The stage lights dimmed. The audience filed out, still buzzing about what they had witnessed. The cameras stopped rolling. The show was over. But the consequences of what Sunny Hostin had done were only just beginning.